Cheap Not Broke fam, thank you for tuning back into the channel. Please hit that like button, that subscribe button. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Each and every subscription helps. Hit that button. It's Monday. Cheap Not Broke fam, welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for tuning in. This is Cheap Not Broke Live. I'm your host Malcolm. Thank you all for tuning back in. Thank you to all our returning followers, subscribers, new subscribers, new viewers, everybody. We thank everybody for tuning back into the show. Yes, and you know, in this show we like to get on to it. We don't like to play games with people and all that good stuff. What are we talking about tonight? Well, I saw this cool article, interesting article. It said $100,000 is low income in some cities. I said, what? What the hell? What the hell? You know the new song. Hey, I'm trying to stick with it. I'm trying to get with it, trying to stay here. But yes, they said $100,000 is not considered. It's considered low income in some cities. I'm like, well, what the hell? What are you spending your money on? Because $100,000 is not a low income. No way, no how. It's not. That's not true. We're not gonna even entertain that. Like, that's not true. It's just not. $100,000 is a lot of money, depending on how you use it and what you're doing with it. Now, somebody with millions of dollars, no, it's pennies. It's pennies on the dollar. Somebody that came up from making, $8-9 an hour. A lot of money. Can be considered a lot of money. So, we're going to get into it tonight. Is $100,000 a lot of money? Is it low income? I got the cities now. But let's just go ahead and establish this. $100,000 is not low income. No way, no how. Compared to what some people are making out here. That's nothing. And it seemed like, I want to know where did 100,000 become the benchmark? Why is it not $500,000? Why is it not 500,000? 500,000 should be the benchmark. I don't understand why 100. Where did somebody say, well, $100,000? That's the benchmark. Things change, things change. At some point, I'm pretty sure in 1900, $50,000 was a lot of money. It's not anymore. And as things keep going, life goes on, time progresses. $100,000 is not going to be considered a lot of money. So let's get into it. Now, quick question is, how much is 100,000? Now we see that's the misconception right there. 100,000 is like 75 take home. It's like 70. You're not taking all that money home. Nobody takes home the sticker price. Nobody takes home the sticker price of money. And we got to stop doing this in America. We got to stop it. It's just not true. Person making 100,000, you make 75. I made $1 million, 750. You got to take at least 30%. 30%, 25%, one of the two. You got to take whichever you choose. Give or take 5%. You got to take that off top because that's how much you're about to pay in federal taxes, state taxes, FICA, Medicaid, Social Security, all that stuff. You got to pay the taxes. You got to pay your taxes, and you can't run from them. And hey, the more money you make, the more they take. Some people are walking home with 50% of the money, like some of these athletes, some of these entertainers. Man, taking all their money, especially the state of California. State taxes suck. I didn't even know nothing about no state taxes. I didn't even know anything about state taxes. My first job was in Florida, the great state of Florida. That was my first job. We didn't pay state taxes. So when I moved to North Carolina, I got a job there, and I was looking at my pay stub and I saw something said NC state tax. I said, what the hell is NC state tax? I didn't sign up for this. I went to my boss and said, hey man, how do I get rid of this NC state tax? I said, you can't. That's state taxes. You have to pay state taxes in North Carolina. And what are you exactly paying for? The state. I mean, we're not going to get on North Carolina tonight. We're not going to talk about North Carolina. But what the hell am I paying for? I mean, there's only one road. If you go to North Carolina, they only have one highway between Raleigh and Charlotte. They don't even have a highway. They got one highway that goes north to south on the eastern part of the state. What about the western part? What about the middle part of the state? You know what I'm saying? But that's here nor there. But let's get back to it. 100,000. How much does that actually take home? It's about 75. So we're gonna roughly say it's about $3,000. It's about $3,000. You're taking home about $3,000 every 2 weeks. I'm gonna do the math right now. What is What is 75,000? What am I calculating? There we go. 75,000. 75,000 divided by, we're going to say 12. Nope. No. 24 pay periods. 24. 75,000 divided by 24 pay periods. That leaves you at 31.25. And that's about right on the money. I would say that because I've made around that. I mean, I know what that salary feels like. It's about 31,000. It's about 3,000. 3,000 take home. Okay, great. Now let's just say most people's rent is about, I don't know, 1,000. No, I don't know nobody paying $500 rent. If you do, you probably got some type of assistance, or you got a roommate. One of the two. Either you're in some program, or you got somebody staying with you, or y'all. It might be 4 y'all in there. Some people got roommates with S. They got more than one person staying with them. So yeah, they rent might. If you rent the $2,000, everybody pay $500. Well, there you go. But I don't know where you're gonna get 4 bedrooms for. $3,000 a month? Hell no, you're not getting 4 bedrooms nowhere. And if you do, it's probably not the best area. Here nor there. Anyway, 3,000, 100,000 breaks down to about 75. So I did 75 divided by 24, which gives me 31.25. $3,125. That's how much you're making every 2 weeks. So that's about right. Now it depends on what you're doing with that money. That's a decent amount of money now. Be debt free, just paying the rent and utilities. Oh, you good. You straight. You ain't got nothing going on. Now you got credit card debt, got kids, driving a new car, got car payment. Yes, that's a whole nother situation. But to be making $3,125 debt free, you can do something. You can do something with that. Because what's that? Times 2 is, what is that? That's $6,250 a month. That's $6,250 a month. That's not that bad. You should be able to make it on that. $6,250. Now, like I said, debt was killing people. Well, you're $100,000 money. You're probably in debt if you're just paying bills, car paid off, paying rent, mortgage, or you might get mortgage free. Some people pay off their home and they don't have no mortgage no more. If you can get to that point, that's a decent amount of money. So what you mean $100,000 is low income? It's low income to somebody who's trying to live a $300,000 lifestyle. You got the car payment, got 2 car payments, living in a place that's costing you, I don't know, $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month. It depends on how much you spend in a month. I mean, it depends. But to say $100,000 is not a lot, is low income, you're crazy. That's $3,125 a month. What the hell are you doing? We can run down rent. Let's say your rent is, I don't know, $1,500. Let's say $2,000. So your rent's $2,000. Okay. So $31,000, you got to subtract $1,000. So now you're going to be at rent off the top. You're at $21.25. Still, that's not bad. That's still not bad. After that, you got to take out your utilities, take out another $500. Let's do it real quick. Let's do it right now. Let's do it. 31.25. Throw me some numbers, everybody. 31.125. Okay. Bam. Rent's $2,000. All right, we're just going to do this one pay period. Rent's $2,000. So each week, each pay period, you probably got to deduct $1,000 to make that $2,000. So now you're at $21.25. Let's just take off a good, for bills, shits and giggles. Let's just take off a good $650 for bills. You're at $650. Okay, bam. Now you have $1,475. That money go fast, man. It sounds good. Oh, $100,000 is a lot. Well, what the hell are you paying for? Now we took off $1,000. Your rent's $2,000. Took off $1,000 per pay period. Bam. Bills $650. Well, $650. That might be a little bit much per pay period. We'll take off. No, let's not. That's a little. Let's not say the $650 might be for the month. 21.25. Let's take off a good $500. $500. Now we at $1,625. And what we got here? We got streaming apps, utilities, phone. I'm gonna take off another $400. Okay, well, we're just gonna take it off right there. We're just gonna leave it right there. Bills, but these are all other things, legit things you gotta pay. So after $21.25, $2,125 minus another $500, your utilities and all that stuff come out. You got $1,625 to play with. Now you're gonna put up let's say you're gonna put up a good $250 to invest. Got to put up $250. Now we have $1,375. $1,375. Now let's divide that by 2. $1,375. you got $687 to play with for the week, depending on what you're doing. But like I said, it's not a lot of money. $100,000. It's not low income. Don't get me wrong, but it ain't drive a new Mercedes and live in a $4,000 a month apartment. It ain't that kind of money. No, it's not. I don't think so. But anyway, let's go find out the cities. Let's look at the cities. But if you disagree with me, please drop a comment. Please say something. If you disagree, if you think $100,000 is low income, drop a comment. Let me know. Now, we're not comparing $100,000 to somebody that makes millions. No, we're just talking about an average person in America. What is $100,000? What is $100,000? It's actually 75. It's actually 75. If you want to make $100,000, you actually got to make 130. So let's do that math real quick. Let's just do it for shits and giggles. So subtract off the 30, you got 100K. All right, we're gonna put in 30 for taxes. Got to pay 30%. All right, taxes. We got 100K. All right, 100K divided by 24 pay periods. That's 4164. That's 4166, which is not bad. It's about another 4166 minus 4166 minus that 100,000 after taxes, 3125. That's a whopping $1,041 extra. Not a lot of money. It's it's relative. I can't say it's a lot of money. It's relative. Depends on who you're talking to. All right, now, $100,000 no longer a benchmark of affluence. San Jose, California, a family earning $100,000 annually would face a monthly deficit of $2,200 after covering basic expenses, making it the least affordable major city in the USA for earners. Yes, ain't nothing going on in San Jose neither. You probably going to San Francisco. I would leave. Boston, to afford a typical rent in Boston area, an individual now needs the annual salary of approximately $127,000, a 20% increase from 5 years ago. Boston? Nah. Boston? Miami. Oh, you got to have it in Miami. An annual income of about $110,000 is required to afford typical monthly rent in the Miami metropolitan area, making a 54% increase compared to 5 years ago. Yeah, Miami going up. High earners classified as low income. Santa Barbara County, California. This is probably on the beach. I wouldn't doubt it. It's probably on the beach somewhere. Individuals earning just under $100,000 a year are now considered low income, highlighting region's soaring living costs. Bay Area counties, Marion, San Mateo, San Francisco, Santa Clarita. Residents making over $100,000 annually are still classified as low income due to high cost of living. Well, let's talk about it. What is a high cost of living? You got to pay your rent. Everybody got to pay rent. Everybody got to pay utilities. Do you have to go out to eat? No. Do you have to buy new clothes? No. Do you have to make a car payment? No. Do you have to drive? No, not really. You can check transportation. And they got the BART up there. You don't have to do that. So no, you don't have to pay all that. So where is all this money coming from? If you're talking about low income, we're just talking rent and utilities. Everything else is on you. You don't need no new car. You don't have to make no car payment. You don't have to buy no new clothes. You don't have to wear no Gucci. You don't have to wear none of that. You can go get you some whatever. Go to Goodwill, get your clothes. We're talking about things you got to pay. You got to pay the rent. You got to. Can't run from it. And you got to pay taxes. You got to pay those two things, rent and taxes. You got to have somewhere to sleep. Car, that's on you. You don't have to have a car payment. You don't even have to have a car. Now, if you do own a vehicle, you got to pay that insurance. Depending on the type of vehicle, that's going to determine what type of insurance costs. You got to eat. What you eating now? We go out to eat every night. We eating filet mignon, sea bass, halibut. We eating all that, or we cooking at home. We having a bowl of pasta and some other stuff. What you think? What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? We got to really get down to the bottom of this low income, this and that. What outside of rent and bills, what else are the hell you doing? Because you don't have to do none of that. You don't. You just got to have somewhere to stay. And even still, if you want to get a roommate, you can pay less, whatever the case. You can do a lot. I think 100,000 single versus 100,000 with a family is drastic difference. 4 people on 100,000 probably doesn't stretch as far. I make 6 figures. I don't have kids, but I'm expensive. Hell, don't I know? Let's see. Yes, now that's okay. That's true. That is true. $100,000 single by yourself, and versus $400,000 for people. That's a whole nother situation because $100,000 for people, you probably need 2 to 3 bedrooms. Unless you got little kids, they can stay in the same room together. But as they get older, you got to get separated. Especially if you have a son and a daughter, they can't stay in the same room together. You got to get 3 bedrooms. So you got to get 3 bedrooms. Where you live is going to determine. Now, but here's the thing about the $100,000. Some places where $100,000 would be a lot of money, you can't make it there. Like some of your places, you got your Mississippi's, you got your Alabamas, you got your Louisianas, you got Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Utah. I said Montana. So you got some of these states where they just don't make a lot of money. Put it like this: states without major cities is not a lot of money. Not a lot of money probably coming in. I'm just gonna argue. Hey, I don't know. I'm not gonna argue with your mama. But I'm gonna take a wild guess. States without big metropolitan cities, you're not making that money. Because where the biggest cities is where the people make the most money. New York, Miami, Los Angeles, Chicago. That's where people make a lot of money. Because they're cities, metropolitan. They got a lot of businesses there. Some of these other places, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Maine, Alaska, Montana. Some of these places, they don't have major cities. I'm not sure you can make the same amount of money. Now, these places where they're saying it's low income, but there are a lot of jobs paying that kind of money. Which means if you get 100,000, you can get 130, you can get 140, 150, you can get all that other money. You can do all that. But they're saying in some of these places that, Boston, San Francisco, Bay Area, that's where, that's the $100,000 not going to do it. I'm going to argue and say, what kind of place do you have? Yeah, true. We got to know. That's a great point. Sean 5387. Do you have a family or do you not have a family? That makes a difference because, even on family 4, y'all got a car payment or do y'all not have a car payment? Now, you got a family 4. You going to need a vehicle. I don't know if you want to put everybody on the train and the bus every day. You don't want to do that. You want to have a vehicle. By yourself, 100,000. See, you can scale down. See me? When you by yourself, you can do the bare minimum. Nobody's there to complain. Nobody's going to say, this is not enough. I don't want this. Nobody's going to do all that. No, nobody's going to say all that. Y'all remember, I'm in a new place now. Y'all remember the old apartment? I was in an old apartment for years. You remember the old background and stuff like that? Rent there, $800. I was paying $800 for my first apartment in Los Angeles. Paying more now. But there, I was paying $800. Cheap rent. But now, I didn't get as many amenities or anything like that. However, rent was cheap. I made a lot more money. I probably tripled my income while I was there. Tripled it. Because I came in and moved to LA. I was making $13 an hour. I'm making more than that now. Salary now. But I wasn't doing that. Smart asset study. In Manhattan, New York, $100,000 salary equates to just over 30. What the fuck? Excuse my French. What? New York, $100,000 salary equates just over $30,000 in spending power after taxes and living costs, underscoring the diminished value of such income in high-end areas. Wait a minute. Hold on. I gotta look at it. Wait a minute. We gotta look at this. All right. Here's what $100,000 salary actually worth in your city in 2025. Do they have the breakdown of the different cities? Okay. $100,000 in different cities. Let's talk about it. Manhattan, $100,000 equals 30. That's $70,000. That's like what? $70,000 difference? That's huge. Honolulu, Hawaii, 38. San Francisco, 42. Brooklyn, New York, 43. Queens, 46. Los Angeles, 47. Lies. I live in Los Angeles, and I've made over $100,000. It's way more than that. San Diego County, 49. Boston, Massachusetts, 50,000. Washington, D.C., 51. Oakland, 52. Man, that's bullshit. That's full of crap. That's lies. What? Wait a minute. So you're telling me, okay, so that means half of your money's going in rent. Where are you staying? Okay, we already talked about it. 100,000 is 100,000 after the taxes. 31.25. 31.25. Okay, let's do that. 31.25. That gets you back up to 75. So they're full of crap right now because you're making 100,000, you're making it off 75. So these are people who are making it off 75. So it's more like 50% different. They never like to account for that. What's that? $100,000. I could live there. Of course. Yeah, you can live a lot of things. You can live a lot of places for $100,000. You can live in any city in America with $100,000. I feel very confident to say that. You can live any city in America on $100,000. Now, what type of lifestyle you want to live, that's up for debate. But can you live in any city in America off $100,000? Hell yes, you can. Yes, you can, for sure. No city in America can live off $100,000. Now, let's get back. All right. Let's see. 31.25. That's pay per period. Let's multiply by 2 because we're gonna do this for the month. Bam. 62.50 for the month. All right. Now, most cities, let's say rent's about 2,000. This is gonna be for a single person. 17. No. Let's do a smooth 2,000. Smooth 2,000. Bam. Smooth 2,000, you're at 42.50. Let's subtract 500 for utilities for the month. Bam. You're at 37.50. Investments, you're gonna invest 250 on the low end. Bam. You're at 3,500 for the month. All right. Now what else we gotta pay out? Got utilities, food. Another 250 for the food. Bam. You're at 32.50 for the month. Fun. You want to go out and have some fun for the month. 250. Bam. That's at 3,000. That's 3,000 for the month. Let's multiply that by 12. Get it back up. Wow, that's 36,000. It's 36,000. It's not a lot. I mean, like I said, you can live off of this money, but nobody said you can go out, drink champagne, drive a fine car, and live on the 10th floor. Nobody said that. But can you live a decent lifestyle off 100,000? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely you can. But you can't go live in like a superstar. New York and San Fran has the most expensive rent. 100K does 100K does we 100K we wait 100K dog lost we wait I am you literally right this second 100K lost we might stretch as far paying rent or mortgage there also. Let me see. 100K. If you want to live a normal life and just, take a couple vacations a year and just live decent and not be debt free, no student loans, 100K, you can do it. You can make it off 100K. I made it off 100K. You can make it off 100K and invest and do a lot of stuff off $100,000. Now, you can't go live lavish. People who live in these places want to live lavish. How many times, we got to discuss how many times you going out to eat? Where are you going out to eat? Do you have vacation? Are you on vacation? Taking vacations? How much are you paying for that? All that stuff. It's a lot of variables that you're talking about. If somebody's just paying rent, paying utilities, doing nothing else, buying groceries, staying home, stacking their chips, you can make $100,000 off anywhere. See, in Manhattan, they're assuming you're going to go out, drink, eat, have fun, do all this other stuff. No. You're in Manhattan. You go to work, come home, you take the train, pay your bills. You don't do nothing else. It doesn't else. Nothing else. 100K doesn't stretch as far when paying rent, mortgage, solo. No, it does not. No, it depends. Like I said, 100,000, like in North Carolina. I lived in North Carolina. 100,000, you can go really far in North Carolina off 100,000 for sure. You can do some big things. However, if you want to travel and do some stuff, you got to fly to Charlotte and Raleigh. The flights aren't cheap, so you're spending more money. Los Angeles, yes, you can make more money, $100,000. It costs more to live here. You got state taxes. You got rent a little higher. But if you want to go travel, you can get out of the airport for a little bit of nothing. So everything varies. Everything is all variable. Because like in the cities where you would want to make $100,000, you probably don't want to live there. You probably don't. Like, who wants to live? Well, like let's say you make $100,000 and you live in Bentonville, Arkansas. Bentonville, Arkansas is where Walmart is based. So if you live in Walmart, if you work for Walmart, your headquarters, probably going to live in Bentonville, Arkansas. I can imagine Bentonville, Arkansas, 100,000 is going to go pretty far. However, probably not doing as much. You probably don't have as much going on. I've never seen an artist saying, hey, I'm going to do a concert in Bentonville, Arkansas. I've never seen it. But I'm pretty sure they go there. It's debatable. $100,000 is 75 take home. Ladies and gentlemen, we must start discussing take home. We can't just be living off face value. That's not true. $100,000 is 75 take home. It's not 100K. It's not. It is not. But you want to make 130, you make about 130. But they're assuming a person is right at $100,000. Taxes, all that stuff come out. No. You're not making that. You're making 75, and that's before you paid any bills or anything like that. If you just subtract the rent off of 75, what is that? Let's see. At $2,000 a month, $2,000 a month. 70. Well, let's see. 12,000. 2,000 a month is 24 grand. Yep, 12 months. That's 24. So 75,000. Do that real quick. 75,000. 75,000 minus 24,000, because that's how much you're paying in rent every year. Because you're paying 2,000 a month. You're all right at 51K. That's off of the rent. So I mean, what I like to do when I'm doing this math, I take out all the taxes. Here I am. Then subtract how much of my year, the rent for the year, because you got to pay it. You got to pay rent for the year. Subtract that off. Boom. That's where you're at. That's when, because that you don't have no choice. These are the things. You got to pay taxes. You got to pay the rent. You got to have somewhere to stay. You got to pay the mortgage. You got to pay both of those. After that, that's where your money moves around. Now you can determine how you want to travel, what you want to eat. You can determine all that. And, you can even determine where you want to live, as far as rent, how much you want to pay in that. But, everybody's different. Some people like a life of luxury. Some people like to live above their means. Some people live below their means. Me, you know me, cheap not broke. I live below my means. Well below my means. I don't like to live above my means. No, sir. I don't like to do it. I like to have some money in the bank. I like to go to, like when people say, man, I'm broke. Some people mean zero, like no money. Now, most people, when they say they're broke, they're just done spending money. Like, I'm broke, man. I don't have no money. I'm done spending money. I have more money. I just don't want to spend anymore. I'm done. I don't want to spend any more money. That's how it goes. Look, all right, let's get back into it. We got some more stat lines. Got some more stats in a second. We're going to go to break really quick. We'll be right back. Cheap Not Broke Live. Thank you all for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe button. We'll be right back. Please make sure you hit cheapnotbroke.com. Make sure you cheapnotbroke.com. Got all your summer needs, all your summer wear, everything that you want to wear, look like, smell like. I mean, not smell like. Everything you need for the summer, I got it. Cheapnotbroke.com. Head on over there. Grab yourself some merchandise. Okay. Where 100K. Ooh. Where 100K goes further than most. Let's talk about that. Further than most. Now, let me know. Drop a comment if you would live in any of these cities. Oh, shit. Ooh, they got me. Okay, drop a comment if you live in any of these cities. 100K in some of these cities would feel like Oklahoma City. 100,000 is more like 89. El Paso, Texas, 89,114. Corpus Christi, Texas, 88,15. Tulsa, Oklahoma, 87,439. Memphis, Tennessee, dangerous, 87,427. Lubbock, Texas, 8646. San Antonio, Texas, 8684. Jacksonville, Florida, Duval, hometown, 84,500. Houston, Texas, 8343. I'll stay in Houston. St. Louis, Missouri, 8302. Now, only cities that I would stay in there is Houston, Jacksonville. Probably not. Been there, done that. I already know what's up in Jacksonville. Houston, Memphis. Hell no, I wouldn't stay in no Memphis. St. Louis, no. Only place I would stay on this list is Houston. Nowhere else. Oklahoma, no. El Paso, no. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Tennessee, blah, 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 blah. All them places, no. So those are the cities where 100,000 would seem like more, where you would really get the bang for your buck. Now, granted, outside of Houston, none of these are major cities. So what you gonna be doing? You're probably not gonna be out there spending all that money, doing all that stuff. Probably gonna sit home and do all that. Retired Navy. Oh yeah, you're probably making $100,000. You making big money, bro. Retired Navy. I know the retired people be living good. Thank you, Mr. Hall, Johnny Hall, for the comments. Hello, son. Hello, mom. Thank you for watching. But drop a comment, everybody. What do you think? I would like to hear your thoughts and opinions. What do y'all think? Is $100,000 a lot of money? Actually 75. And do you think, can you live off $100,000? Can you make it off $100,000? Furthermore, those cities. Would you live in any of those cities? I give them to you one more time. El Paso, Texas. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Corpus Christi, Texas. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Memphis, Tennessee, Lubbock, Texas, San Antonio, Jacksonville, Florida, Houston, Texas, St. Louis, Missouri. Yes, that's where your money will go the furthest if you live in any one of those cities. Major cities, not so much. Los Angeles. Now let me tell you something. I live in Los Angeles. You can make it off $100,000 because you can make money out here. You can make you a buck 50 doing other stuff. It's a lot of things to get into out here in Los Angeles. Acting. I do stand up comedy act. I've done a lot of stuff. Now stand up don't bring nearly as much money as I needed to. I wish it did, Lord. YouTube, shit, I'm still waiting on getting my first check from YouTube. YouTube ain't making me no money. But if y'all bring some more people to the channel, it might. But anyway, none of those things bring me extra money. But I do know this: LA is a land of opportunity. There are a lot of opportunities to make more money. Everybody out here got a second hustle. Everybody out here is doing 1 to 2 to 3 different things. This is the way it goes. So a lot of people got a lot of different things that they're doing to make money. In a lot of those other cities, you can come up. You can meet somebody to change your life. You never know. I don't know. In some of the other cities, you can meet somebody to change your life. Maybe Houston, Jacksonville. I don't know. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. But I don't know. That's not for me to say. That's not here for me to say. But anyway, $100,000. Let's not keep living off face value. Let's start here tonight on Cheap Not Broke. 100,000, 75. 1 million, 750. 20 million, probably like 13. Probably 13 take home because they're gonna take a lot of money. They're gonna take a lot of your money. You got to consider this. You got to consider how much are you really making. How much are you really bringing? How much are you really making? Good question to ask yourself. You gotta know. Get yourself a budget. Write that stuff. Put this stuff on paper. Don't just be out here floating in the wind. Put it on paper. Figure out where you really at. Okay? Everybody should do that. If you haven't done it, do it tonight. Take how much you make every 2 weeks, multiply that by 24, and that's how much you're bringing in for the year. Now you really know. That's how much you're paying. So don't go off of what they're telling you. Multiply your pay period, what you get paid every 2 weeks, by 24. That will tell you where you're really at. That's what you want to know. That's what you got to do. All right? Bam. Drop some comments. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. But while y'all thinking on that, sitting on that, we're going to get into some of that. You know what it is. It's time for that interesting news. There it is. On in the world. Let's talk about it. All right. The new theme chain devoted to praising President Trump, Inside Trump Burger. A new burger chain themed around President Donald Trump is growing in Texas. I'm not surprised. And those who don't vocally support him find it to be in poor taste. A Lebanese immigrant named Roland Beanie, I don't know, Beanie, something like that, reportedly opened the restaurant chain Trump Burger, featuring burgers branded with the president's name, American flags, and joke items themed around the Democratic rivals. The chain currently has multiple locations in Texas, and the food reviewers have offered their opinions both on food and politics of the chain. I'm waiting for my order at Trump Burger in Houston, surrounded by merchandise including baseball caps with Trump's 2024 Revenge Tour and the red t-shirt featuring his favorite line, the 47th President of the United States. You're fake news, Houston Chronicle. Owen said he keeps his personal politics private, added that when a fellow customer asked who he voted for 2016, he recounted that he replied, "I can barely remember. That was a long time ago." I shuddered with a nervous chuckle. "I'm hungry. What did you say?" Now, hold on. Let me show y'all a picture of this Trump Burger. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I don't care about none of that. The price good and the food good. I'm gonna get me a Trump Burger. I don't care about none of that. I'm gonna get me a Trump Burger. Shit. Don't play with me. I'm gonna get me a Trump Burger. I'm gonna get me a Trump Burger. All right, cool. Now, let's. Can we see it? Can you see it? Can you see the Trump burger? Can y'all see the Trump burger? There it is. That's the Trump burger. That's it right there. So that's Trump burger. I don't know. Would you eat this? Would you eat this thing? Let me know. There's the Trump burger right there. Got a big old Trump burger. Now, is it good though? That's the question. Is it any damn good? That's what I want to know. Is the Trump burger any good? Is it any good? Is it any good? That's what I would like to know. I don't know. Trump burger or not. If the price is good, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. I don't care about no politics, nothing like that. I'm going to try it. Especially if the price is right. Let me go and get one. Let me go and get one. Me personally, I don't care if you support Trump. I don't care nothing about that. Because I know you don't really know politics. You're supporting the man. The man goes every 3-4 years. He comes in, he does his time, and he's gone. The policies, the laws stay. The government's the same, ran by the same people. It doesn't matter who the president is. He's a representative. Same people who were there when George Bush was there, Bill Clinton, Ron Reagan, them the same group of people behind the closed doors running the show. They're running the show. That's why things don't change. Because you think you would have a president come in and make radical changes, but you never seen that. Why? Because they don't pick anybody for change. They pick somebody to keep things the same. Status quo. Law and order. Right? They use the law to keep things in order. That's what it's about. Like law and order. Yeah. The law is to keep things in order. That's what that's all about. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by these people. Don't be fooled. CVS to shoulder 5 pharmacies in New York amid closure of 271 stores nationwide. CVS is closing 5 stores in New York State this year as a part of sweeping plan to shut down 271 stores nationwide 2025, making the last round of cuts in a year-long downsizing effort by the pharmacy giant. The affected New York stores include locations in North Taiwan, Staten Island, Manhattan, and 2 in Albany, according to the list compiled by Newsweek. And the coupon site. Closures are part of the broader corporate strategy to streamline operations and shut down the approximate 900 stores in CVS. Now, I think this had a lot to do with them getting sued. You know, remember the big opioid epidemic? You know, Oxycontin and all that. If you don't know who the Sackler family is, go look them up. Go watch Dope Sick. Dope Sick on Hulu. Great story, great show. And they also have I think it's called Robbery in Plain Sight, something like that. But they also have a documentary on the Sackler family. Terrible people. Made a lot of money. Nobody went to jail. But anyway, CVS, Rite Aid. Rite Aid is about damn near gone. All the Rite Aids in Los Angeles is about closed. I used to go to Rite Aid all the time. They used to have, right down the street, go get some detergent, get some cheap wine, all that stuff. Rite Aid is closed. They're no longer doing business. So, no, not me. No Trump burger. You want to try the Trump burger? Trump burger might be good. It ain't Cookout good now. I know that. Now, Cookout put Trump burger on there. I'm going anyway. But, yeah, probably. I mean, on face value, the burger got to be good. I'm not going over there. I don't care. I don't care. Trump burger got to be real good for me to come in there and stick around and do all that stuff. Trump burger got to be really, really good. Let's see. CVS. Oh, yes, back to CVS. And now, see, here's another thing about CVS. See, some people, you got a lot of people who depend on their neighborhood pharmacies. You got a lot of elderly people who have to go get their medication. Everybody doesn't have a vehicle, and in places like New York, some places, they have to catch a train. A lot of elderly people can't catch a train. Now they do have a service that comes and gets people, but some places don't have that. And if your local pharmacy closes down close to you, where are you going to go get your meds? That might be another 5-10 miles. That might be a real inconvenience for people. So what people are failing to realize, when these pharmacies close down, some people, this is their local right down the street pharmacy. They might have to go way down the street. And then CVS, you might have a good relationship with CVS because of your insurance. They take your insurance. You might go somewhere else, Walgreens or some other small mom and pop pharmacy. They may not take your insurance. So a lot of people are affected by CVS's closing because they do have pharmacies. And you got a lot of elderly people who need to go get their medication. A lot of people don't drive. They don't have transportation. They don't have somebody to take them. So if this CVS that closes, that's 1.2 miles down the street from my house, the next one is 7 miles down the street from my house. And it may not be a CVS. Might be a Walgreens. Might be a whole other situation. But nobody's taking this into account. These pharmacies closings affect a lot of people. Going to drive the cost up because they might have to go to another pharmacy, a local pharmacy that's not national. And their prescriptions may not be as cheap. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on with that. So when you think about CVS closing, consider this. It might be something, it might be your grandmother, grandfather, aunt, uncle, anybody. It could be anybody that's affected by this. So just keep in mind that when a pharmacy closes, there is somebody locally close that no longer can get their medication, and the cost of them trying to get their medication might go up extremely high. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Okay, what else we got going on? Oh, man. Disney slashing hundreds of jobs in film, TV as Hollywood industry facing turmoil. Disney is laying off several hundred employees in the film, television, and corporate finance, as a source familiar with the matter say on Monday. Layoffs are affected multiple teams around the world, including TV and film, marketing, TV publicity, casting, development, and other sources. Disney and other companies are reshaping their business strategies in response to migration of cable TV audiences to streaming platforms. Disney also laid off nearly 6% or fewer than 200 employees. ABC News Group Disney Entertainment Networks in March. And Disney's also closing the ESPN studio out here in LA. So Sports Center, usually, it would start out in Bristol, Connecticut. Then it transfer over to LA around midnight, 9 o'clock their time. But they're out to shut that down. So Sports Center will be coming from Los Angeles, which means those employees in Los Angeles that are not willing to move to Connecticut, Bristol, they're going to lose their jobs too. So a lot of people losing jobs. However, but you don't worry about losing the job. Don't worry about losing the job. Be confident in your skill set. You can find another job. Skill set, what you do. You're getting hired because of your skill set, not because you just work here. You get hired because of your skill set. So a lot of people, get frantic and all these things about your job. Hey, your skill set is what they're hiring you for. Always be confident in your skill set and what you do. That's what people hire you for. That's why you're there, because you have an amazing skill set, and keep that in mind. Your skill set, what you do, that's why they hired you. That's why they got you there. Okay? All right. What else we got? Speaking of which, Disney is high as hell. Disney's $100. Super, 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 super high. Super high. Disney slashing jobs, but no park food prices. Oh, no. They're going up on the park food prices. Let me tell you something. A grilled cheese at Disney World cost about $12, $13. Let's go to Disney. Let's see. Let's go to Disney's site for shits and giggles. What I can jack you. What are the food prices at Disneyland? Disney World. It's a big difference. I've been to both Disneyland and Disney World. Let me tell you something. Go to Disneyland first. If you've never been to one, go to Disneyland first. Don't go to Disney World first. I'm going to leave it at that, because I know I don't want to break anybody's heart. What are the food prices at Disney World? Let's see. Give me a list. Oh, shit. All right, here we go. Disney offers 2 primary dining plans for guests staying on their site, reports. Standard dining plan, $97 per adult, ages 10 per night, $30 per 3 to 9. Man, you're an adult at 10 years old. Disney ain't playing with you. Includes 1 table service meal, 1 quick service meal, 1 snack or non-alcoholic drink, 1 refillable resort mug per stay. Quick service dining plan, $54 per adult night, $24 per child. Out-of-pocket costs, quick service meals, approximately $12 to $15 per adult. Entree, table service meals around $35 to $60 per adult. Signature dining experiences can exceed $75. And some prices menus fixed reach $72 for adults and $43 for children. Snacks and beverages, churros, pretzels, ice cream, $5 to $8. Specialty beverages, $6 to $10. Bottled water, $3.50 to $5. Yeah. Y'all better go eat out in the car, man. Look here, we gonna pack a lunch, and we're gonna go out and eat in the car, and then we're gonna come back in here. So when you get tired, I got some sandwiches in the car. We're gonna eat those and come on back. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do, man. Disney food is expensive. All these theme parks are expensive. You're not getting nobody's theme park for under $75. Discount, military discount. They don't give a damn. Under $75, you can't come. Stay your poor ass home if you ain't got the money. That's what Disney tell you. And Disney's over $100 right now to get in. So Disney's not a cheap place to go. I was just watching a video on couples, like they're asking how much you spend at Disney. Oh, $3,000, $2,500, $5,000. Nothing cheap. Nothing cheap at Disney World. Nothing cheap at Disney World. Disney World gonna cost you. You can go do other things. Like I would suggest, I just came back from an all-inclusive. Go to an all-inclusive restaurant, and I think you'll get your bang for your buck, because you get to eat and drink all you want for one price. Nothing extra. Now, if you want to do extra stuff, you got to pay for that, but you don't have to. All the food and drink is paid for. Disney, every time you do something, you got to pay. You got to pay. So, I mean, if you love Disney like that, but here's the thing. I don't know how people are going to really get into Disney, because Disney Channel used to be included in cable. So you will watch it because it's included in cable. Now, on the streaming platform, you have to specifically pay for Disney by itself. You may not do that. You may not pay for Disney by itself. So, with that being said, how are you going to know? If you're not watching Disney Channel and watching any Disney movies, how are you going to know about Disney World? You're probably not. I don't think Disney World is going to have the same attractiveness to people over time, because they're not marketing to you like that. You don't see them. So it has to be like your family, your parents that like it. But the odds of you running across Disney, Mickey Mouse, and all this other stuff, and you don't have the platform, the app, you're probably not going to see them. You're not going to know who the hell they are. You are not. You are not. Okay. What's my last story? Got one more story for you. Where's my last damn story at? No food recalls. Nothing. Oh yeah. Here we go. Temu's daily users cut in half following end of Dementis loophole. Daily users, PBD Holdings global discount e-commerce platform Temu fell by 58% in May, according to market intelligence firm Sensor Tower, one of the headwinds. Temu decided to slash ad spending in the U.S. and shift order fulfillment strategy after the White House on May 2nd ended the practice known as Dementis, which allowed Chinese companies to ship low-value packages in the United States tariff-free. Temu, along with fast fashion giant Shein, has utilized provisions for years to drop ship items directly from suppliers in China to customers in the U.S. market. I haven't been on Temu in a minute. I just haven't been on there, so I'm not sure how much they cost now. But I do know that last time I was up there, they were up slightly. They have a discount plan for Florida residents for $60. Oh, that's great. $60. That's not bad. Not bad. See, a Florida resident is good, because you can go to Disney and drive your butt back home. But everybody out of state, you got to stay the night, pay for parking, get a hotel. It's going to keep going up on you. Keep going up, and up. Them prices ain't enough. They're not for the weak. They are not for the weak. Disney, you got to pay. You got to pay to play at Disney World. But, yes, Temu. I did notice the prices have gone up. Now, they still got some good stuff on there. Would I still use them? Yeah. I'm just not paying, like, $20, $30 for shipping. You can forget that. No, not doing it. Or if the order's a certain amount, y'all going to cover the shipping for me. You're going to do that. But I haven't been on there for a while. Probably going to check it out, see what the prices are. Are they noticeably different than when I was on there last time? Because I got a lot of stuff off Temu, but not as of late. These tariffs and all this other stuff. What do you do about it? Just stop buying it. If you can, just don't buy it. Just buy it somewhere else. They're talking about, they want things that American made. It's going to cost more money, because Americans need more money to live. Americans want high salaries, and they want more money. So you're not going to get out of it cheap. You're just not. You're not getting out of it. Because if you make everything in America, you got to pay all the American taxes. You got to pay the American employee. Americans are always looking to sue you for something. So, that's how it goes. All right. So, what do y'all think? $100,000. That's what the show topic was tonight. Can you make it in America off of $100,000? 75. Can you make it off $75,000 after taxes? Because that's exactly what it is. It's not $100,000. Never has been. Never will be. Too sensitive. But yes, can you make it off of that money? What do y'all think? Let me know. Drop a comment. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Let me know. What do you think? Can you do it? Can you not? Me personally, I think you can. It just depends on the type of life you're living. How much you're paying your rent? How often are you going out to eat? Are you going out to have a bunch of fun? What's your mode of transportation? Are you making a car payment? You got a car that's paid off? You just paying the insurance? Are you using public transportation? What is your situation? It varies. It goes place by place by place, person to person to person. However, I do know any city in America, you can make it off $100,000, $75,000 after taxes. You can make it off of that. You can make it. You just gotta know what the hell you're doing. You can't do everything. You can do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but you can't do a whole lot of this and a whole lot of that. No. Now you making $500,000? Oh, you can do whatever you want. You can have a good time. Good time with $500,000. But that's another story. That's another day. All right? That is another day. Another day in time. Another day in time. Thank you all for tuning in with me tonight. This has been Cheap Not Broke Live. I am your host, Malcolm. Please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Please go to cheapnotbroke.com and grab yourself some merchandise. Please make sure you're tuning in. And I hope we give you some food for thought tonight. Give yourself some food for thought. $100,000 is only about about $6,000 every per pay period. So let's live in reality. Let's not live in a fantasy land when things are what they're not. You're not taking home $100,000. You got to make about $130 to take home $100,000, and that's like $4,000 every pay period. You know, now you making $10,000 every 2 weeks. Now we talking, and you're still not a rich person. You're still not. So, but you got to make it work. You got to make things work. What's best for you. Everybody don't need to go out to dinner. Everybody don't need to go live an exotic lifestyle. Some people can be very happy and live a great life on $100,000 by yourself. With a family, I don't know about that. I don't have a family yet, so I don't know. However, if everybody's dependent on that $100,000, I'm gonna assume that money's not going that far. Now, both parties. If you with somebody, y'all make $100,000. Y'all make two collectively. Y'all might can be doing something. But you know, people. I don't know. People aren't really on the teamwork nowadays. One person paying for everything else, the person just sitting there looking around while the other person paying for everything. Whatever the situation is, as long as it works for you, great. But I will tell you this: $100,000 will get you anywhere in America, depending on how much you spend and how you living. So make sure you stay cheap, not broke. Don't spend all your money. Eat at the house. Eat in. Every now and then. Do you need to pay less in rent? Is it taking all your money? Are you saving for retirement? Do you have money in your 401k? Do you have money invested? Do you have any money? Do you have an emergency fund? These are the questions that you should ask yourself. Ask yourself these questions. Do you have these things? If not, keep tuning in Cheap Not Broke. I will teach you, show you, tell you how to get all of these things. But remember, when somebody says they're broke, that doesn't mean they don't have no money. That means they are at a limit where they are no longer comfortable spending money. I'm broke. When I say I'm broke, I'm done. I don't want to spend no more money. I'm done spending money. Do I have more money? Yes. Do I want to spend no more money? No. That's what that means. Ugh. That's what that means. I don't want to spend no more money. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. This has been Cheap Not Broke. I am your host, Malcolm. Please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And make sure you tune back in on Wednesday with the Wednesday rant. You know what it is. Tune back in on Wednesday. We got some more more things for you. But in the meantime, hit my like button, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram at Cheap Not Broke, or you can follow me on Instagram at Malcolm Hall. I'm putting up videos all the time, trying to make the world a better place. Until Wednesday rant, I will see you all. Take care.